Hi everyone, today I'm going to be testing Divine Sunder versus Eclipse for on Ezreal against tanks. Why I'm going to be testing this is because a lot of people have been saying that, oh, rank 1 China Ezreal Hansindo has been using this build, it must be better. More damage against tanks, more survivability, etc. whatever. Now, the target dummy has 3000 health and 300 armor and magic resist. About standard, maybe more, honestly, than most tank slash bruisers at the average game time, maybe 20 to 25 minutes. Now, for runes, we have Conqueror, Presence of Mind, Bloodline, Cut Down, Mana Flow, and Transcendence. We're not going PTA because this is going to be in a tank situation where you're not going to be taking PTA, where Conqueror is better. Now let's get started. Q Mystic Shot, 240 damage. This is going to be your main form of DPS. Now, let's switch on to the Eclipse build.
Can I get an itemized receipt? My accountant's way too good at his job.
282 damage. Now, argument 1. Divine Sunder has more healing. Sitting at 430 health-ish right now. I healed 147 health. Sitting at 460 health, I heal 76. Yes, you do heal less, by about 100. However, you have to kick in the factor that Eclipse has 8% Omnivamp, so you don't only heal from Qs and auto attacks like Divine Sunder, but also E, W procs, and ult, making up for the missing health. Alright, on to the final issues. Now, starting with number 1 point, Divine is a tankier build. So yes, you do have more resistances, but however, you can also build Frozen Heart or Maw on the last situational item on Ezreal, with the Eclipse build as well. You have E on a very low cooldown, reduced by Q by 1.5 every time you hit it. You're not meant to dash in on safe scenarios. Why do you need the resistances? You're not going to be Eing in constantly. Eclipse already has a shield. And if you miss position, and you're like, wow, Divine really saved me there, I would have got one shot by assassins. Why are you getting one shot by assassins? You're either out of position, that you randomly used E, and you need that handicap to save you because you made a bad play. That doesn't mean Divine is good. A bad play does not warrant a item. Basically, in short, you don't need the tankiness, because if you're getting constantly one shot by assassins, that either means 1, the assassin is uber fed somehow, which means by then the game is probably more than over, or 2, you're constantly mispositioning and misplaying, which does not mean an item is good. Now, on to the second point, build path efficiency. Ezreal needs a Sheen item rush. Essence Reaver is $500 cheaper than Divine. On top of that, the base stats are much more valuable early game, 83 compared to 103. Considering that these two are going to be your first items usually, right? You know, some people build Manamune first. I'm not super big on that. You can get Essence Reaver very fast before lane ends. This is, honestly, in all of my games, has been 100% constant so far. Like, you get Essence Reaver before tower falls. Alright, you get a huge damage spike. Essence Reaver does a fuck ton of damage. Alright, especially like against ADCs and stuff. And you know what, even against everyone early game. Because no one has resistances yet. No one's built them yet. Right? You get no mana issues ever because of Essence Reaver, and then Manamune, of course. You never have any mana issues ever, because POM too. And the build path: Essence Reaver, Manamune, Serelda's, Eclipse. Now, Serelda's 30% pen flat, and then Eclipse with the pen from the Mythic bonus. This comes in around mid game and maybe early game if you're like uber fed, but like we leave that out. Mid game to late game, right? Well, not even late. This is mid. So around then you have like what, over 50% pen, because what, 4 4 4 around 50, yeah. compared to divine. You have divine early game, right? You don't make use of the mythic bonus early game. You have one or item or two items. The percent health and the percent pen is useless because they're not tanky yet. They don't have their like tank items yet. There's no resistances to shred. You're building the resistance shredding item when there are no resistances or health to shred yet. Anyways, that concludes my video. If you still build Divine Thunder, yeah, I don't know. Check yourself into a hospital.